guys, what's up? Killjoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have... Today we're going to be talking about why this new Joker movie is getting so much hate, and before you say, Jake, this isn't a horror movie, what the hell are you doing, you dumb idiot? Well, I'll tell you what, I think this movie is arguably a psychological horror movie. We're gonna get into that, but first I'm gonna need you to like this video and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at KilljoyJake1. Now let's get into it! I think anybody who saw Joker would agree that it is really more of a dark psychological horror film than it is a superhero movie. Although Bruce Wayne and Alfred and Thomas Wayne are all characters in this movie, I think it is very, very arguably a dark horror movie altogether. It focuses on Arthur Fleck, who turns into the Joker throughout this movie if you haven't seen it. I'm probably going to give spoilers, by the way, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking this movie out if you haven't. This movie is getting hate for praising white men, is what one of the reviewers have said about it. I'm probably going to put a picture of it somewhere in here. I don't really understand why these people are saying these things, but take it from a guy who's not getting biased by any kind of money from any studios or any crazy people who don't like this movie. It's a fantastic movie. Go check it out. These critics, I think, are honestly just being paid off by Rotten Tomatoes, whoever just doesn't like this movie to say bad things about it. Violence in movies does not provoke violence in real life. Anybody who says that is a complete numbskull. Any kind of act of violence that happens in real life, yes, is reflected in this movie. There is a lot of cases of mental illness causing mass shootings and violence, which is bad, and we should focus more on these people. Definitely give them more treatment, but it's not because they go to a movie, see it, and then want to recreate it. I personally loved the movie, and I highly recommend you go see it if you're into this kind of thing. It's not really, if you're not big into superhero movies, I don't love superhero movies myself, but this is not that at all. This is an awesome character movie, seeing this guy just transform into this supervillain, basically, and it is absolutely fantastic. Great casting decisions all around. Zazie Beetz from Deadpool 2 is in this, Robert De Niro's in this, and of course, Joaquin Phoenix, who will, I'm saying it right now, will win an Oscar for his performance in this film. But have no fear, Joker fans, because this movie just broke a domestic October box office record, coming in at $93 million this past weekend alone, which actually beat the record for another superhero movie, Venom. This is pretty impressive considering all the hate it's received. I really thought that it would kind of tank because of all this hate that's going on around about it. But like I said, I mean, I'm a guy who I have 100 subscribers. I have nobody paying me any kind of money, and I'll tell you what, this was a fantastic movie. Go check it out. Don't listen to these idiots who are paid millions of dollars to say one thing or the other. Listen to me. I'm starting to love the subgenre of R-rated superhero movies altogether, and I'll say it right now, if you're a fan of this movie, if you're not, I haven't really met a person who's not a fan of these movies, but the Deadpool movies are some of my absolute favorite films of all time, and I hope we see a lot more of those. My one big thing about superhero movies altogether is I just feel like some of them are just not so believable. I want to see the thing that's so great about this film is, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's silly. The idea of Batman and the Joker is really just silly, if you think about it. A guy dressing up like a giant bat and a dude dressing up like a clown running around the city doing crimes and stuff, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's silly. But when you can take characters like that, make them so insanely believable, like how Joaquin Phoenix does, if we're talking about the Dark Knight movies. Christian Bale brings to life Batman. Heath Ledger also brought to life the Joker in a completely different way. But if you can do that one way or another, bring these insanely silly characters to life that in such a real and dark way, I mean, it's better than what you see in like an actual real crime drama, rather than just bringing to life a normal everyday criminal or a normal everyday cop. These are superheroes that you are making so believable and real. I believed Joaquin Phoenix's performance the entire way through. I mean, it is so insanely mesmerizing, his transformation into the Joker. Also, there's something else that I feel like I really need to talk about on this channel. Rotten effing Tomatoes. If you look at the tomato meter for any movie, they're going to show you the score from critics. And like I said, critics who are getting paid to be biased one way or the other. Right now, Joker has a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, total count 439 critics, okay? And these are people who are getting paid by studios, whoever, outside third-party people to say whatever the hell they want. Audience score, verified ratings, 26,845 people gave it a 90%. What's more valuable there, do you think? And what's the one that they're going to show everyone? They're not going to show you the viewer rating where it's 26,000 people of everyday people who are not getting paid off by somebody. They're going to show you the one that is all the idiot critics who just get paid whatever to say whatever. I highly urge you to go on Rotten Tomatoes and for any movie that you're going to look up, any movie at all, go look at the audience score, because that is 10 times more reliable than these stupid critics that'll just say whatever. So why all the Joker hate? Where is this all coming from is the real question here. Well, if you had to ask me, I would say a lot of people don't like Joaquin Phoenix. There was that whole thing with his rap career that was so weird, and we all know what happened to River Phoenix. R.I.P., dude. But I think that a lot of people in Hollywood just don't like him. He is kind of a weirdo if you see him in interviews. In fact, he was just interviewed by Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show, and he's just odd. Anytime you watch Jimmy Fallon, I mean, it's just like, oh, they're having a great time, you know, it's not even like they're talking, it's just like they're hanging out, being buddies, you know? If you watch an interview, Jimmy Fallon with Joaquin Phoenix, it's just like I'm not sure if it's maybe he's full of himself or what it is, but he's just kind of a jerk. With all that being said, though, his performance in Joker is so fantastic, you gotta look past all of that. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Joker movie that just came out. Please like this video and subscribe to Killjoy Jake. If you just love horror movies, you will love this channel, so make sure to subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter at Killjoy Jake for any recent updates or video ideas. You can tweet something at me if you want me to cover a movie or something. Tweet it at me. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.